It's just that in memory of the extraordinary turnout from people who came to John's funeral, I'm truly grateful. We used to go to philosophy classes on Friday nights, and going up to the room, he would stop at the gift shop every Friday, and there were two volunteers who always worked in the gift shop, and he would buy a Charms Pop, and he'd eat that during class. At the wake, these two women came to the wake, and they brought a Charms Pop. So we put it in his pocket for the trip. Oh, and I did want to make a comment that's totally off of this. But if you have someone who's in the hospital for an extended period of time, somebody suggested this to me, and I did it. I'm so glad I did. And that is, bring in some family pictures and have them in the room so that the nursing staff can really, build an image of this person, not just as a patient, but as a real human being. Because the nurses, they work hard, and sometimes they have to take shortcuts too. But we are all trying to take care of individual souls, right? Okay, a second lesson, not a new one to any of you, that I learned in this world crisis, my life, is to keep yourself in spiritual training so that you can be fit for God's services. So everyone here knows what Our Lady asks of us from Fatima about praying the daily rosary and wearing the scapular. Pray the Fatima prayers, do penance. When you wear your scapular, remember to touch it often as an act of confidence in Our Lady. And this is actually going to be very helpful. Our Lady asks also for us to make the five First Saturdays devotion. And I just have to ask this other question. Can we possibly do more? If anyone can go to daily Mass, that is the Mass of immemorial custom, or to Divine Liturgy, and does not go at least once or twice more in a week, I think this is cavalier in these times. Our lives are so fragile, and we should be chasing after all the graces we can, and also as an act of reparation, of course. But for my life, I just, not to go to Mass. If you can go to Mass, I feel like it would be better to be that salt that has lost its savor and is thrown out to be cast underfoot. I really wonder how anyone can live. From high school, I formed the habit of going to daily Mass, not because I was pious, but because I was trying to get away from people. But in fact, that transformed me at that time, so that I kept that up during high school. I went to a Catholic college, and but I knew where all the chapels were, and I knew the Mass times, and I got to Mass. And if I couldn't make Mass there, and I was commuting, and I'd go through the city, I knew the Masses, and in my working life, I knew the Masses of, I knew 6 or 7 churches, and the Mass times, and it's like I had to go to Mass.